The plasma bolt hit Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez's center mass, sending her crashing through the reinforced viewport of the orbital research station. The Kethvar assassin, Sekthar, lowered his weapon with satisfaction, watching as the human's body sparked and convulsed from the neural disruptor charge. Target eliminated, he spoke into his comm unit, his mandibles clicking with pleasure. The human pest who discovered our operation is neutralized. But Sekthar had made a critical error, one that would cost him everything in the next 23 seconds. Maya Rodriguez wasn't just any human cadet. She was part of the Lazarus protocol, an experimental program that had been classified even within the Intergalactic Defense Corps. The neural implant embedded in her cerebral cortex wasn't just for communication, it was a complete backup of her consciousness, linked to a network of nanobots that flowed through her bloodstream like a secondary nervous system. As her organic nervous system shut down from the disruptor blast, the nanobots activated. Sekthar turned away from the viewport, confident in his kill. The research station held the secrets of human military enhancement programs, and his Kethvar syndicate had paid billions of credits to obtain that data. With the only witness eliminated, he could complete his mission. Behind him, Maya's eyes snapped open. The nanobots had isolated the damaged neural pathways and rerouted her consciousness through the artificial network. Her body rose with mechanical precision, every movement controlled by microscopic machines that now served as her nervous system. The plasma burn across her chest still smoldered, but pain was just data to be processed and discarded. Sekthar heard the soft footstep and spun around, his weapon rising. His four compound eyes widened in disbelief as he saw the human standing, her movements unnaturally fluid, despite the gaping wound in her torso. "Impossible," he hissed in his native tongue. "You are dead." I confirmed the kill. Maya's head tilted at an angle that would have been impossible for living bone and muscle. When she spoke, her voice carried a harmonic undertone that hadn't been there before the sound of nanobots coordinating her vocal cords. "Death is a human concept," she said, taking a step forward. "We've evolved beyond such limitations." Sekthar fired again, the plasma bolt striking Maya in the shoulder. She didn't even flinch. The nanobots simply rerouted around the damaged tissue, maintaining motor function through alternative pathways. "What are you?" he whispered, backing toward the laboratory's emergency exit. "I am what happens when humanity stops playing by biological rules." Maya moved with inhuman speed. The nanobots had analyzed Sekthar's species during their previous encounters, mapping weak points in Kethvar anatomy with clinical precision. She reached him before he could fire a third shot. Her hand closed around his primary breathing apparatus, the chitinous tube that extended from his neck. Sekthar's weapon clattered to the floor as he clawed at her arm, his natural strength impressive but irrelevant against the coordinated power of millions of microscopic machines. "Your species has a fascinating respiratory system," Maya observed as Sekthar's struggles grew weaker. "A single pressure point controls oxygen flow to your entire cranial cavity." The nanobots didn't just understand anatomy, they could manipulate it. Maya's fingers found the exact neural cluster that controlled Sekthar's motor functions. A precise application of pressure, guided by microscopic machines that could feel electrical impulses, and the assassin's body went limp. But Maya wasn't finished. The nanobots had accessed Sekthar's memories through contact with his nervous system, downloading everything about the Kethvar Syndicate's operation. They had more agents on the station, more targets to eliminate. She needed proof of her victory, something that would send a clear message to anyone else who thought humans were easy prey. Maya's enhanced grip tightened around the junction where Sekthar's head connected to his thorax. The Kethvar anatomy made decapitation surprisingly simple once you understood the segmented structure. One sharp twist, guided by nanobots that calculated the exact torque required, and Sekthar's head, separated cleanly from his body. Purple ichor, what Kethvars used for blood, splattered across Maya's uniform as she lifted her trophy. The nanobots analyzed the chemical composition automatically, filing the data for future reference. The emergency klaxons were already sounding as Maya walked toward the laboratory's main exit. Security footage would show her leaving the room exactly 23 seconds after Sekthar had fired his first shot. 23 seconds to transform from victim to hunter. Station personnel scattered as she emerged into the main corridor, her movements still carrying that unnatural precision. Blood, both her own and Sekthar's, covered her uniform, but she showed no signs of the injuries that should have killed her. In her left hand, she carried Sekthar's severed head by one of his antennae, letting it drip a trail of purple ichor down the corridor. Commander Vexhai approached cautiously, his security team maintaining their distance. Lieutenant Rodriguez, medical teams are en route. What happened in there? Maya turned to face him, and Vexhai stepped back involuntarily. Her eyes held no warmth, no human emotion, just the cold calculation of a machine wearing human flesh. The Kethvar Syndicate made an error in judgment, she replied, her voice carrying that strange harmonic undertone. They assumed humans could be easily eliminated. She held up Sekthar's head, letting the commander see the look of terror frozen in the assassin's compound eyes. This is what happens when you shoot a Lazarus operative, Maya continued. We don't stay dead long enough for you to celebrate. As medical teams finally arrived, Maya allowed them to examine her wounds, though she felt nothing from their probes and scanners. The nanobots had transformed her into something beyond human, beyond alien, a hybrid of organic matter, an artificial intelligence that redefined what it meant to be alive. The Kethvar Syndicate had wanted to send a message by killing a human cadet. Maya had sent one back written in blood and delivered with surgical precision. 23 seconds was all it had taken to prove that humanity's true strength wasn't in their bodies, but in their refusal to accept limitations.